Chef Redbeard here with Dherbs Kitchen, back in the fall in the kitchen with pumpkins. I'm going to show you what to do with the flesh. We're going to use that for the pumpkin soup. For cutting a pumpkin, especially of this size, cutting anything, I like to use a flat surface or as flat of a surface as possible. Pumpkins, just like gourds and other squashes, have this waxy exterior surface. So I don't want to use a single blade knife. Your regular typical chef's knife. This is a single blade knife. What I want to use is a knife that you probably don't use or utilize in your kitchen, which is a bread knife. This has a serrated edge. Think of a saw. So when we're cutting through something a little bit tougher, you want to use this serrated knife to cut through that. So I've already cut the back side of this off because you always want to work with a flat surface, especially something round, flat side down. And I just want to make, again, an incision here. And wedge it through. There we go. You can turn it. Always make it easier for you. Don't try to reach across or do anything that will put you in danger. There we go. Those seeds are attached to those. You can separate those. You just want to remove this inside skin and set that to the side. We're not going to be using that for this soup. So now once you got your piece of pumpkin, again, we want to cut it using your single blade knife, just so you can get smaller pieces that we can work with. Then we'll cut that into some usable pieces. Perfect. So now from here, again, working on a flat side, we want to take those innards out. When those cook up, they maybe tend to cook up bitter since we're roasting this pumpkin for the pumpkin soup. If you were sauteing this, I would leave it. We just want to remove the inside. Then on the back side, take that outer waxy skin off. You can use your knife and it'll just cut right off. You can see here where that end is, kind of like peeling an orange with a knife or any citrus fruit. You just want to remove that outer layer. So then once you have your peeled pumpkin, you just want to cut that in cubes. The thickness and the diameter in which you cut the pumpkin is going to determine how fast it cooks. So this pumpkin for this soup, we're roasting at 400 degrees. We cut it in medium diced pieces like this. It'll take about 40 minutes. So this is our diced pumpkin. Now for the Granny Smith apple, the skin contains pectin, so we want to leave the skin on. We don't necessarily want to peel the skin. I just want to remove any stickers if they're on the apple. And then we can cut that in half. And then you just want to cut nice slices right around the core, leaving the core intact, so you can just discard that. Just take the core right out. Then you have sliced apples. Of course, the apples are cut much thinner than the pumpkin is, so we're going to roast the pumpkin first at 400 degrees in an oven, and then you can add the sliced apples halfway into that. The apples will go along with the sliced white onion. Cut it half, leaving the root end attached. You just peel back a few layers of that. And we just want some nice slices. Again, keeping the root end intact will keep our onion layers from coming apart while we're trying to make slices. And you just cut diagonally across. You'll get these half moons, keeping your root end intact. You can just discard this. You can add it to your compost. So again, 400 degrees for 20 minutes on the pumpkin, midway into that, well, 40 minutes. And then the last 20 minutes, you can add your green apples and your white onion. We have roasted pumpkin, roasted onion, and our roasted apples here. As you can see, the caramelization, there's some color, but the most important thing is the texture of the pumpkin. It's smashable by finger. You go from a very hard, porous pumpkin to something very soft that just gets blended, and it's going to make a fantastic soup. So now, into our food processor, we're going to add the pumpkin, we're going to add the onions, and we're going to add the apple. The recipe then calls for 1 1/4 cup of vegetable stock. I'm just going to reserve just a little, just in case it's too viscous in the end. This will help us thin it out. And salt and pepper to taste, about a pinch. Some pink Himalayan salt, some fresh cracked black pepper. We have some chopped parsley here and a little bit of cayenne for some heat. It'll help round out that pumpkin with its earthiness. Just going to blend that on low until we get it blend up, then we'll turn it up. Let's plate it. Oh yeah, this smells fantastic. Look at that beautiful, perfect viscosity. Now for garnish, we've taken some of those internal pumpkin seeds. We've roasted at the same temperature for about 12 minutes at 400 degrees. Just going to use this as a garnish. A little more of our parsley. And add a little boldness and some fat, some nice olive oil. This is our pumpkin apple soup.